The two sides, runners-up in the Sam Maguire for the last 2 years. Will it be different in 2017? A match which is going to be handled by Maurice Deegan from Laois, a man who's done 3 All-Ireland finals already, and whose last semi-final was Kerry versus Tyrone back in 2015. The star is ready, Kieran Donaghy. Perfect setting. Little or no breeze that we need to worry about too much, because the breeze seemed to die down on occasions, and then every so often it whips up again. It seemed to be Mayo who won the toss, and they've opted to play from right to left in the first half. Eamon Fitzmaurice, his 5th season in charge, his 25th championship match this is as manager, and he's won 19 so far of the previous 24. So a place in the All-Ireland final, which is now 4 weeks away for one of these teams. Mayo will be anxious to try and get an early possession here. They allowed Roscommon to get a couple of scores from the 2 throw-ins from the drawn match. They changed that around when it came to the replay. Let's see what happens here. Aidan O'Shea beaten to it, fisted down. And it's Kerry, and it's Johnny Buckley trying to make some early advances here. Aidan O'Shea has gone way back to track the other number 11, and it works out because it went off Buckley, and it's a line ball to Mayo. Coming deep to pick it up, Kevin McLaughlin. Here's Keith Higgins. All the way across as far as Colin Boyle. Irrespective of the numbers they are wearing, they're switching around to suit the necessary matchups. Boyle again put under a little bit of pressure. Parsons available. All the way back as far as Seamus O'Shea. Everybody trying to get their hands on the ball from an early stage, and then they go long down towards Andy Moreland, but reading that one very well was Shane Enright.
Just looking there, Jerk, Kieran Donaghy's been picked up by Donald Vaughan. But Keith Higgins has moved into the half-forward line, and he's picking up Michael Gainey, and Chris Barrett has gone back into corner to pick up James O'Donoghue.
I've just seen Aidan O'Shea go back there to pick up Kieran Donaghy at this stage. Now maybe it's just something that they're doing for a moment or two, but that is surely going to take an awful lot from their attacking forces.
Absolutely, I think he's a crucial player. I think Cillian O'Connor needs that bit of extra support up in the forward line, and it's a bit of a surprise, maybe just back covering for the minute, but certainly he's in position at the full back line.
Well, it's Cillian O'Connor who's going to take this first free kick of the match from just outside the 20-metre line. Needs a good start, and he's got that good start, or has he? Off the post and back down once again into the hands here of Tadhg Morley. Brian Kelly. Enright. So they work it up through the hands through Mark Griffin here. Interesting to see just how many men Mayo commit to put the pressure on from an early stage here. That's good. David Moran forced into the handling error. One back. Seamus O'Shea. Touchdown this time by Jason Doherty, but only as far as Moran once again. Out here to Mikey Gainey. Cousin of Paul, that's a poor ball given away to Seamus O'Shea, able to make inroads now here. Doherty available to help out. Linking up as Lee Keegan. And again, this second attack fails to produce anything.
Yeah, and both sides making some silly mistakes early on. Again, conditions are tough, it's very slippy underfoot.
We're still watching a match-up away out of shot at the moment, which is Kieran Donaghy against Aidan O'Shea. And there you go. He's out on the wings to pick it up. O'Shea's after him. Well, that's an interesting switch as that ball is played back here. And Tadhg Morley was the one putting his boot through that, putting the ball to the left-hand side as well, however. Still awaiting the opening score. It's Paul Murphy who attacked that from the kick out. Mark Griffin all the way back as far as Anthony Maher. Giving the easy ball back in as far as his midfield ally. Hanging in the air. Donaghy can't get to it. So O'Shea has done his job in that particular instance, but then you wonder if it's robbing Peter to pay Paul.
I think a lot of people will be surprised with that, having Aidan O'Shea back in the full back line. But it's very interesting to see they're putting a lot of pressure on the David Clark kick out. Eamon Fitzmaurice obviously instructed his players to get up and put pressure on his kick out.
Well, this one has worked anyway for Mayo. And it's Keith Higgins, who played in his first semi-final back in 2006, all the way down as far as Diarmuid O'Connor, who excelled in the replay against Roscommon 13 days ago. Looking for a bright start here. Enterprisingly kicked in towards his brother. It breaks down to Andy Moran. Andy's done it. 4 minutes are gone. It's the dream start. Great ball in here.
Yeah, great ball there by Diarmuid O'Connor. Fell nicely to Andy Moran, and what a finish. And the save, there's a vulnerability in this Kerry team. It is in that full back line, and certainly they're exposed there.
Well, they've richly exploited any vulnerability. And what a start that is. And here comes Keith Higgins. Held on to strongly by Jason Doherty. Turning, looking to put this one inside the left-hand upright, but he hasn't measured it the way he wanted. And it's a chance gone a begging. But the ground still here rocking following this score here. An 8th ever championship goal by Andy Moran, the 33-year-old from Ballaghaderreen. Mayo lead.
Yeah, and a great start by Mayo, and the supporters are getting a lot of encouragement from their play so far.
And it was Diarmuid O'Connor who put in that high ball. Killian, his brother, back out around the 50-metre line at this stage. Inside here to Colin Boyle. Transferred to Doherty, who missed one a few moments ago. This one bounces off the top of the crossbar. Well, this time goes over the bar as well. And there's a point for Jason Doherty, the Burrishoole man.
Yeah, and these Mayo players are up for it. I suppose we've seen that in the Roscommon player. What was their attitude like? It was excellent that day, and they've continued that form on.
The last thing I think they wanted today, Mayo, was a moral victory, in the sense that they only went down by a point or two. This is one they wanted to win.
Yeah, it's all about attitude today, and so far we've seen it. The Kerry lads are a little bit rocked so far, but I'd imagine they'll settle into the game.
Shane Enright trying to bring a bit of composure to play back there, with Peter Crowley get his first touch of the ball as well. David Moran's been involved. Griffin trying to burst out of that full back line. He's going to be needed back there in the number 3 position. That's a challenge there by Diarmuid O'Connor, which is going to be penalised as he came in on top of Paul Murphy. Yeah, just got up from behind.
I think Maurice Deegan is bringing a couple of players in for a word here. Jason Doherty and Killian Young. I think after the play, after he got his point, they might have bumped off each other.
Well, there wasn't very much involved in it, and you expect a bit of physicality. Well, now, something to contemplate here as Eamon Fitzmaurice is there with Liam Hassett, one of his selectors. David Moran punting this one forward there towards Mikey Gainey. Can't get to it. Instead, it's Keith Higgins. Takes it cleanly, gives it out to McLaughlin. Loves to roam, carries it well. Down beyond Jason Doherty this time. Andy Moran scampers across. Gets there ahead of his man. Dropped by Kevin McLaughlin. Won back by Kerry this time. And Anthony Maher. May not be a great deal of pace in the middle of the park for Kerry. Plenty of height. Paul Murphy, who had a wonderful match in the quarter-final against Galway, gives it back to Killian Young. Awkwardly came to him. Worked back out towards Peter Crowley once again. Inside to James O'Donoghue. First time he's managed to get hands-on ball in this game. Look at the number of players surrounding him, but there's a free man just ahead, Peter Crowley. Kerry needing a score just to settle them down. An opportunity maybe for Paul Gainey. Back in towards O'Donoghue once again, kicking under pressure. And that pressure was sufficient, but the referee is going to bring the play back.
Yeah, he's coming back for a late free on Paul Gainey. It was a late tackle, the ball was played, so I'm sure the Kerry lads will be delighted to get this one because it looked as if the play had developed.
Well, that's where the referee, Maurice Deegan, have decided to bring it back to the 20-metre line. So it's going to be Paul Gainey kicking with that right boot. Score of 1-4, of course, here last year in the semi-final against Dublin, that thrilling match before he was substituted late on. In all, he's got a goal and 12 in 4 semi-final appearances for Kerry. They need this one to go over the bar, even at this early stage, 8.5 minutes in, just to reassure themselves. Light breeze now just beginning to whip up a little bit into his face. So can he make it? He certainly can. Playing in his 21st championship match. This young fan not showing a lot of reaction yet, but I'm sure his dad is going to tell him now, you clap for that. Yeah. Kerry are on the way.
Just watching Aidan O'Shea and Kieran Donaghy. I suppose two lads that played a bit of basketball over the winter, but getting to know each other certainly.
Certainly are. It'll be interesting to see if that is maintained throughout the 70 minutes. Johnny Buckley from that kick out, which didn't go all that terribly well. Kieran Donaghy getting his hands on it. Back as far as David Moran. Kicking through, but not quite what he wanted. It just tailed away at the end there. And that is a third wide already for Kerry.
And I think the midfield battle will be crucial. You see there how clever they are to break the ball down. So David Clark going long will suit Kerry, I'd imagine.
He's gone long. It runs on and on. Tyg Morley able to bend his back, take it before Donald Vaughan comes up to challenge him. Back out here as far as Stephen O'Brien. First time we've mentioned him. Very pacey player, has a good scoring record. Has been coming off the bench up to now. Back into James O'Donoghue, trying to turn away there from Chris Barrett. Very fast, lovely ball, beautifully threaded inside here. Again, what a steal that is! As he was on his way, ready to pull the trigger. Great defensive work, but they're still at 6s and 7s back there before Diarmuid O'Connor brings a measure of reassurance to the defensive play.
And what a tackle there by Keith Higgins, excellent defender, but I think his confidence after a Stomon game is shot up. Brilliant performance that day, and certainly again today.
Again, it heats up just a little bit here. This time it's Aidan O'Shea, as you can see, and the referee deciding to walk in and talk to his two umpires. Anything untoward happened there, lads?
I don't think there's much in it now, to be honest, sure. I think Aidan O'Shea has surprised the referees and the umpires that he's back in the full back line. There's nothing in that, I don't think.
Yeah, it's quite a match-up. As you say, they have played basketball. I think Kieran won a national title playing with his club during the winter, and Aidan O'Shea told me he played a couple of matches as well with the Sligo All-Stars. Right, next play will be this ball kicked out by David Clark. Kicked it straight to Paul Murphy. Pushed, free kick, the end result. And the referee's going to bring the ball into a more favourable position now from Kerry's point of view. That's silly by Mayo, giving a very easy free to James O'Donoghue to tap over the bar from 20 metres out. This to be Kerry's second score, both of them to have come from free kicks. Similar distance out. He wasn't going to miss that one.
Yeah, it's good for his confidence. Nice easy free to start off with, but certainly you can see early on that they're putting a lot of pressure on David Clark and his kickouts and his free taking.
That was brilliantly done there. Just watch this again. It was Keith Higgins, as you said there, Desi, got in the hand. And it's Keith Higgins again, bursting forward. Two men ahead of him. One of them is Jason Doherty. Lovely turn, took the full-back away completely. Out to Andy Moore, who's got the goal already in this game. And he tags on a point.
Yeah, great play there by Keith Higgins. Brilliant attacking player. I think he's a much better play in the half-forward line. Kicked an excellent ball into Jason Doherty, who's been very good this year, and a great score by Andy Moore. As
we have known for some time, there's quite a bit to be gained by running straight through the heart of that Kerry defence. Fascinating match. Peter Crowley just about did get to it eventually, got there ahead of Chris Barrett. But coming in once again to take possession, it's Keith Higgins in the thick of all of that. Free kick, which is taken by Donald Vaughan. Back out as far as Seamus O'Shea. Tom Parsons not able to take the ball, wasn't a good pass to him. Intervened, there was Marr. Back out as far as Donaghy. Kieran Donaghy setting up a chance for O'Brien! Stephen O'Brien! Teams are level. 13 minutes are gone. What a mix-up in the middle of the field by Mayo, however.
Yeah, but watch Kieran Donaghy slip away from Aidan O'Shea. He's not tight enough at all on him. Got caught out of position, and certainly to say he was at 6s and 7s there.
What a response at the other end. It's Colin Boyle coming downfield, ready to kick. He scored against Tipperary in last year's semi-final. He's missed this one, however. Well, Mayo will be ruining the fact that they had possession in the middle of the park. Seamus O'Shea was trying to link up with Tom Parsons. The move broke down, and Kerry ventured forward and scored that goal. Tyg Morley in here as far as Mikey Gainey, then given off as far as Killian Young. And the star comes out for it again. Otherwise, Kieran Donaghy. Back into O'Donoghue. Stands his ground. Has support. Two players looking for it. Killian Young goes forward. Want to get it back onto his left, maybe. Well, he has a go with the right. It's not half bad. Oh, it's come off the post and it's gone over. On his 6th ever championship point and a fine career.
Yeah, great score there by Killian Young, known for his left foot, and I think Keith Higgins was covering his left foot, expecting him to turn back, and he took it on the right in a fabulous finish. But again, you've seen Aidan O'Shea a couple of yards off Kieran Donaghy in the initial play.
And Kerry lead for the first time in the match, and there's a contact lens problem here for Seamus O'Shea. Well, this is quite a battle between the two of these fellows. Two big men. 6'5", Kieran Donaghy. 6'4", Aidan O'Shea. This is Donny Boham. All the way back as far as Diarmuid O'Connor. Well, after they made such a perfect start, Mayo, they knew that Kerry were going to come back at them. Now the reaction is going to be interesting. If they get sloppy with their passing on difficult conditions, could very much go against them. But they won this free kick, and McLaughlin takes it in here as far as Andy Moran. Again, just somehow manages to find space. Don't know how he does it, but that time didn't go where he wanted it to go.
Yeah, quick free in there by Kevin McLaughlin. Andy Moran out in front, but that's 3 or 4 good opportunities Mayo have missed in front of goal.
Brian Kelly. Well, Killian Young will be delighted to have been able to get forward and to lend his considerable experience and finishing. Shane Enright put under pressure. Back to Young once again. Tadhg Morley, one of the least experienced members of that Kerry defence. And that time it's Anthony Maher has the ball stolen away by Tom Parsons. Quick look up by Parsons. O'Shea there beside him. Into Diarmuid O'Connor. Trying to get that ball back. Finally, Seamus O'Shea picking it up again. Hectic challenges in there. Real intensity in the play. Lee Keegan coming onto it. Under-hitting this one. Kelly able to take it. Peter Crowley able to work it out. Out to Mikey Gainey once again. Switch of direction then by Killian Young. Inside to Morley once more. 23-year-old from Temple No. Kicked forward by Peter Crowley. Beautiful pass as far as James O'Donoghue, taking on Chris Barrett, steadying himself, looking to put two between them. Umpire's thinking about it. Gets a white flag.
The Mayo players are not too happy with that, waving it wide, but great play from James O'Donoghue, taking on Chris Barrett at every opportunity.
And suddenly it's 1-4 to 1-2, and it's Kerry who are a couple of points to the good. Donny Boham. All the way back as far as Keith Higgins. Kerry applying good pressure. Aidan O'Shea. Wonder how long they're going to persist with that particular move of O'Shea being the one to stay back in his own half of the field and look after Kerry's Kieran Donaghy. They really need his power and his strength and his danger, I would have thought, at the other end. Yeah,
you would imagine that based on his performance in a couple of games up front that he'd be certainly there, but I've never seen him playing full back, and I would say Kieran Donaghy is getting the better of him so far.
This is Kevin McLaughlin who's getting the better of a few of the Kerry backs, gives it out as far as Andy Moran once again. He's on song. It's a goal and 2 for Andy.
Great play and great start from Andy Moran. He's out in front, showing strong, and if there is a vulnerability in this Kerry team, it's in that full-back line.
Only one between them. David Moran switching across here rather dangerously to Shane Enright. Bounced. Hardly play around with that ball back there when you got Killian O'Connor. So dangerous in and around that 20-metre line and lurking with intent. Out through Mark Griffin as far as Stephen O'Brien, the goal scorer for Kerry after 13 minutes. Taking on and losing Colin Boyle completely. McLaughlin then comes in, gets a hand on it, turns that around. Lovely play by McLaughlin. Vaughan once again. Buckley was in front of him, gives it to Diarmuid O'Connor instead. Taking over was Brendan Harrison. Here's Seamus O'Shea. Driving forward again, Keith Higgins. Got up to a certain point there, saw a whole lot of Kerry bodies in front of him, didn't he?
Yeah, and this seems to be the style. They're getting a lot of lads into the middle section of the pitch and it's slowing Mayo down. They're struggling to break them down, and I suppose they didn't want runners coming from that half-back line. I suppose that might be the tactic involved.
Well, which is exactly what Mayo were trying to do. That's where they have had some gains so far. Seamus O'Shea, everything clogged up around the middle third, so he goes long, really good ball down as far as Jason Doherty. Now quick transfer back to Boyle. Worked inside to Cillian O'Connor. Laid off once again to Andy Moran. Trying to slip it back out to Boyle. Loses his man. Has a support player. Doesn't need him. Finishes with a plum. What a move and what a goal. A first ever in the championship by 31-year-old Colin Boyle from Davits. And it's come after 20 minutes.
And all of this is coming from a great ball in. Jason Doherty took it up. Mark Griffin is struggling badly on it, but great composure from Colin Boyle. Might have been a question of steps, but what a finish.
He finished with the accuracy of a corner forward or full forward. Deadly marksmanship. What a good 20 minutes we've had. The number of scoring opportunities so far availed of by both of these teams. And it is Anthony Maher once again threatening. And that one has gone just to the left-hand side. Doesn't score too many.
That man, Colin Boyle, getting back in to make a crucial interception there. Just to get his hand in, show a bit of presence and put Anthony Maher off sufficiently.
Back once again with Boyle. The odd thing is, in some of the matches, and this is match 8, they have tended to take Boyle off after about 50-55 minutes.
Yeah.
Not too sure what the meters are saying on the GPSs, etc.
I think Colin Boyle will be happy to see the back of them GPSs, because obviously there's a reason he gets taken off.
Jason Doherty once again back as far as Cillian O'Connor, looking for his first score. What a time to get it. Mayo attacking freely, lovely fluency, deadly accuracy. There's style and there's panache in their play, and they lead by a goal once again.
Yeah, great play there again from Jason Doherty. He's having an excellent match, but great composure on Cillian O'Connor. The ability to kick off his left or right foot is very important at this level, and a great finish.
An early change is going to be made. Jack Savage is going to be coming on, we understand, for Mikey Gainey.
Yeah, well, Keith Higgins has been excellent so far. He's been in the half-back line. He's doing a great job sweeping, but very good on counter-attack play.
One thing about the two benches, when you look through them, Kerry have so many good finishers they can bring on, the likes of Barry John Keane, Darren O'Sullivan as well, and the first one to come on is Jack Savage. So Mikey Gainey's day here in the semi-final has been completed as early as the 22nd minute. Jack Savage coming in for his 4th ever championship match. That's going to be attacked there by Seamus O'Shea, won back by McLaughlin, all the way in towards Cillian O'Connor. They're taking the Kerry defence to bits on occasions. He's got a second go. Oh, they still can't finish. Andy Moran, oh, it ends up going over the bar off one of the Kerry defenders. He's got a point at it, but they should have got a goal.
Yeah, I think it clipped his foot as well. But what an opportunity again for Mayo. Great play from Seamus O'Shea in the middle.
They are capable of ripping them apart, it seems.
Yeah, I know it came off his shoulder from Shane Enright, but a great block. But certainly that full back line are being exposed today.
Kerry in a real match here. Mayo are up for this. Diarmuid O'Connor back to Seamus O'Shea. There were questions asked about all the number of games they'd had to play. It looks like they are benefiting from all of those. Parsons back, lost this time. Johnny Buckley, who's the team captain for Kerry, needs to get them going again. Up as far as Stephen O'Brien. Being given an opportunity to carry it and then to kick it in as far as Donaghy. Back once again to O'Brien. About to be challenged by Vaughan. Not a good challenge. Vaughan and another player down on the ground. I think it's Paul Gainey. And the referee is going to bring the play back. That was a foul there by Donald Vaughan.
Yeah, again, Morris Deegan playing advantage and coming back for the free.
Well, it's a very good rule, this 5 seconds. That didn't even require 5 seconds. Once he decided that there was nothing accruing there for Kerry, he was going to give them the free kick. Paul Gainey has scored just 1 point so far from a free kick. James O'Donoghue's got 2. One of those has been from a place kick as well. 4 points the margin at this stage. So a chance for Gainey, 26 years of age, from Dingle. We've been very disappointed so far, I think, with the level of support he has got from his colleagues. A number of passes into him and the amount of service he's been given, which hasn't been great. But this is a really good kick, and that's his second pointed free.
Yeah, brilliant free taker. But just people might wonder about Lee Keegan or Paul Murphy, 2 excellent players. They're actually marking each other. They might negate each other in the match.
It often happens. Referee just calling a halt to proceedings for a moment.
It's Johnny Buckley there and Donald Vaughan getting to know each other again. But Johnny Buckley, a very effective half-forward, big player for Kerry, and they need him in that half-forward and getting on a bit more ball.
That's an interesting matchup that you were talking about there. Paul Murphy against Lee Keegan. We know how influential both players can be.
Yeah, and in a way, Jerry, both of them you might see the best of both of them in this situation because they're such good players. Both of them are very tight in each other.
This time it's Anthony Maher who battles hard, gives it back as far as Tadhg Morley, has a moment then in which to compose himself, give it back out to the Kenmare man, Stephen O'Brien. Launching this one in towards Donaghy, saying, up you go, man. And it's the other basketball player, Aidan O'Shea, who's won it. Big roar of approval from the huge throngs of Mayo fans here in Croke Park.
I think we found the reason why he's there. That high ball, the Mayo crowd were delighted to see him coming out with it.
I think they're bringing a jump ball to Gaelic football.
Yeah, and he's such a powerful man. I think he hasn't lost a throw-up all year, Aidan O'Shea. It just gives you the size of his physical presence, and he loves contact. 7th year in a row he's been in a semi-final of the championship. Chris Barrett back as far as Diarmuid O'Connor. Change of direction by Keith Higgins to wriggle away from any would-be challenges, to thread this one beautifully down in the direction of Donny Bohan. Play anywhere man who's been marked by Johnny Buckley and fouled on this occasion by Buckley. Yeah, Paul Murphy here. Lee Keegan was making a run and Paul Murphy going to grab him, and that's why Maurice Deegan's having words. And it could be a card as well to go with the words. And it's Paul Murphy who's going to see the first yellow card of the match. And that's a big card for Paul Murphy. If he any more physical contact with Lee Keegan trying to stop him, and he could be off. Incidentally, there are 2 of the Mayo players playing at the moment who are in amber situations from disciplinary point of view, because if Lee Keegan or Donald Vaughan were to pick up a black card today and reach the All-Ireland final, they could be suspended for that. With black cards, red cards, yellow cards, now amber, yep. Amber situation. Yeah, very much. They have been warned. So running repairs there for David Moran, concerned for Eamon Fitzmaurice. Yeah, and a very enjoyable half so far. Great performance from Mayo in terms of to continue that great attitude that they showed against Roscommon, and they're a team that's playing with plenty of confidence now. So much to enjoy about the opening 27 minutes, that's for sure. Jack Barry is being readied, by the way, should he be required. Diarmuid O'Connor to take this. He's going to just try and lob it in there. Never know what you might find in that defence right now. Right now they found Shane Enright. Out as far as Jack Savage. Savage showed too much of that. McLaughlin able to nip in, steal it from him, give it to Seamus O'Shea, and then make headway in a very determined but ultimately unrewarded fashion. Yeah, and like a corner forward screaming from the ball everywhere, and at this level he should have given it off. Stephen O'Brien able to counter-attack here. Maher playing it outside, picked up again here, this time by Paul Murphy. Yellow carded a couple of moments ago. Inside towards Donaghy, this time a better ball for him. Now quick look up just to see what's on. He's got to go for it himself. Had the confidence, why not? With scoring ability like that. First point of the day for Kieran Donaghy in his 64th championship match. Yeah, but like, he's great awareness, Kieran Donaghy. He's much more than just a target man. His level of shooting ability is excellent, and that was a great finish. So it's Mayo by 2 points. Not the greatest from David Clark.
Inside to James O'Donoghue. Turns on the power again. Seemed to be caught late there. Donny Vaughan was coming in on him.
Yeah, it's another free, another soft free that Mayo are giving away, and it's keeping the scoreboard ticking over for the Kerry lads. They're struggling, I suppose, from general play, aside from Kieran Donaghy's great point, but Gainey, O'Donoghue, they've got a lot of frees in the game. So
dangerous thing to do, that particular challenge, that last one there by Donny Vaughan in this era of the black card. It's going to be a free for Paul Gainey, once again standing 25 metres out from the target. 6 minutes to go to half time. We've had a couple of points in a row now for Kerry, and Gainey to make sure that's 3 in a row.
And I think you've seen James O'Donoghue's confidence back. He's playing a lot well. He's doing very well on James O'Donoghue, and every opportunity he wants to take him on. And at the same time, Paul Gainey, he's been a bit quiet. Aside from the frees from general play, he's been a little bit quiet.
And we were here listening to rumours an hour before the game that James O'Donoghue wasn't going to start.
Yeah, strong rumours at that.
Seamus O'Shea touching it down, but only to a Kerry man. That's to Crowley, and then given off here as far as Jack Savage. Back once again to Peter Crowley. Anthony Maher. Stephen O'Brien trying to knife his way through, lost it, but Donaghy's picked it up, able to pick up the pieces, trying to link up with O'Brien again. Timely intervention. A lot of Mayo bodies back there. Aidan O'Shea feeding it out to Tom Parsons, and kicked away as far as Jason Doherty, working his socks off. Not too many men forward. Andy Moran is up there, so too is Cillian O'Connor. A little layoff that was really beautifully done. Back to Andy Moran again. Underhit this time, straight to Peter Crowley. Back out to the bandage, David Moran. Savage back in as far as Morley. It's quick, it's incisive, it's been entertaining. And James O'Donoghue trying to cut in for the next score. 3 against him. Needs Kieran Donaghy. Back to Jack Savage. Not going to chance a shot from distance, giving it to Tig Morley instead. Anthony Maher now. Kerry looking for a chance to level the game once again. Stephen O'Brien trying to go by McLaughlin. Referee says, yeah, there was a foul. Had been giving a little advantage. Nothing coming, so it is going to be a free kick.
Yeah, and again, we've mentioned it, Jared, these are soft frees to be given away. They have plenty of number back. Keith Higgins actually is sitting in the pocket as well, so there's needless frees being given away.
And Diarmuid O'Connor there seemed to be caught by the neck as he was moving forward. Down he went. Referee dealt with it. End result is going to be another free kick anyway. Far too many of them being conceded. Mayo gifting opportunities for Kerry to play themselves back into the match. Whatever about the porous nature of the Kerry defence, we know all about their attack and what they can do. And they don't need to be given free opportunities as well, willy-nilly. Referee calling across Kevin McLaughlin. This will be the second card of the match to be issued by our referee.
It's soft, you'd have to say that's soft again. Or maybe he's racked up a couple of frees.
Well, let's just see what the punishment here is going to be. It's another yellow card for Jack Savage this time.
Yeah, and you can see it coming in here, and Keith just caught him a little bit high. Kid Colin Boyle is coming in from the side, but again, this was after the play, and the referees obviously ignored it in the free stance.
And that's the reaction from the Mayo fans for that.
It's unusual. He got booked. He booked Jack Savage for it and let it play, and then he gave the free, let the free stand. Doesn't
always happen. Paul Gainey's going to take this. 3 from 3 so far. And this will level up the scores with 2 minutes to go to half-time. Another big cheer from the Kerry followers this time. So it's 1-8 to 2-5, nothing to separate them. It's now 10 minutes, however, since Mayo's last score in this match. They'll be looking for something before half-time, and again they're in a lot of difficulty with those kickouts. One of the many talking points at half-time for our panel. David Moran all the way down. James O'Donoghue tried to contain it. But Chris Barrett busy as ever, making sure he wasn't going to get anything too lightly.
Yeah, and Eamon from Smarts will be delighted with the pressure that's on the kick-outs being applied. When it goes long, Kerry seem to have a little advantage on breaks as well.
Peter Crowley back in towards Kieran Donaghy. He's drifting away now from Aidan O'Shea, who stayed 10 metres away from him and is ineffective at this stage. David Moran with Peter Crowley, they've lost it, and it's Keith Higgins who goes down and picks it up. Dermot O'Connor pinned back in there by Peter Crowley, trying to block him off. Aidan O'Shea required, good handling, then the challenges come in. Now they break the press, to use another basketball terminology. Colin Boyle back in as far as Tom Parsons. Again, the challenges presented, but Seamus O'Shea is able to break it this time. Brush aside Stephen O'Brien. Give it off as far as Jason Doherty. Boyle once again, trying to worm his way in here somehow. He's managed to escape the clutches, and he's kicked it wide. There was a big cheer from the Mayo followers. He thought he'd put it over. That's their fifth. That's their fourth wide. Again,
he created that out of nothing, but that's what happens when you run at this Kerry defence. They're struggling at a minute to contain it, but another opportunity missed from Mayo.
4 added minutes are going to be tagged on to the opening 35. So now let's see whether one of these teams can take a lead with them through to the break. Great catch, that's brilliantly done this time by Johnny Buckley. Best bit of feeling we've seen for a while. Nearly 13 and a bit minutes since Mayo last scored. Stephen O'Brien, busy. Jack Savage gives it as far as David Moran. Moran breaking through, ready to have a go here. Will it curl in? Still in play, and David Clark, goalkeeper for Mayo, able to begin the counter-offensive. Moran, who had that wonderful game in Limerick 3 years ago in the replay against Mayo. 47 touches they reckoned he had on the ball that day.
I think Gerard Mayo are kind of retreated back the pitch a little bit, and they're not using that same normal fluid motion up the pitch that we're used to seeing, and certainly it's resulted in a lot less opportunities for them.
Middle of the field has been clogged, and this time it's David O'Connor who was fouled there, this time by Paul Gainey. Free kick which Lee Keegan is preparing to take.
It's coming up on 15 minutes nearly since Mayo have last got a score, and I really think that before half-time they need to get something, show something.
And Andy Moran has been their scorer-in-chief with a goal and 3 so far, pushed. So free kick situation, but it's going to be a very acute angle. Shane Enright just pointing to Andy Moran where he should be taking the ball out, a little bit further out there. Encouraging the linesman here, who's Derek O'Mahony from Tipperary, to make it an even more awkward kick for Cillian O'Connor. 1 point for O'Connor so far, that from play. Before the start of the match, in fact during half-time of the minor match, Cillian O'Connor was out on the field with his tracksuit top, and he was walking along the 20-metre line, visualising all different kicking situations and throwing up grass like that to see where the breeze was and how it might affect him. So he's done the research, but this is a very, very difficult kick.
Yeah, I suppose normally he's probably going to go for this, but it is a difficult angle, but a man of his ability certainly would be surprised if he get it.
And he's kicked it to the near side this time. Missed opportunity. Wasn't easy.
Yeah, and I do think myself, Gerard, that this full back line are struggling for Kerry. Like Jason Doherty's got on a lot of ball. Andy Moran's got a goal and 2 points. If they can get more ball into that full forward line, they'll do a lot of damage.
Well, they need to get it out of midfield quickly, and they need to win it. But right now it's Tadhg Morley, challenged by Aidan O'Shea. All the way up it comes here as far as Savage once again. Keith Higgins trying to close him in there, keep him in the corner. Morley once again, the provider. Cross towards Paul Gainey, that was dangerous. Chris Barrett takes it, might need his goalkeeper. Gets off his line quickly. Referee had blown his whistle and gives a quick free kick, which Mayo take. And it's Donald Vaughan once again now carrying it forward. Deep into the 4 minutes of added time. Jason Doherty turning, getting away from O'Brien, out to Lee Keegan. 2 men inside waiting for it. Taken down brilliantly here by Cillian O'Connor. Taking on Cillian Young, this time the one who wins that duel, the battle of the Cillians. Out to O'Brien once more. 2 men after him. Diarmuid O'Connor trying to catch him. Last thing on earth he needed to do that time was to trip him. Jack Savage bounces nicely for James O'Donoghue, looking to try and finish now here and give Kerry a lead going into the break. Well, he's missed this one, and that is now their 5th wide, and the referee has blown the whistle for half-time. Largely a very enterprising and gripping first half in many respects. David Moran and company making their way off. They've had to battle back on a couple of occasions to get to parity. Kieran Donaghy has been central to much of what's gone on with Aidan O'Shea there. It's been a subplot, and a little bit of angst as well shown here as they go in with Peter Crowley and Aidan O'Shea. A couple of goals that Mayo are still celebrating. Andy Moran with a goal and 3. And at the break, as they go in here, it's Kerry 1-8, it's Mayo 2-5. So start of the second half, a match being watched and enjoyed all around the world, I'm sure, today. In Sri Lanka, for instance, Michael Stack and Elmira from Killarney are hoping that Kerry will win it today. Public address just making the announcements now, confirming it. And as I told you, it is Mark Griffin who's gone and Anthony Maher gone as well. Well, that's just a confirmation of the difficulties that Kerry have been experiencing during the opening 35 minutes plus. Aidan O'Shea seems to have moved away out of that full-back position, and right now picking up Kieran Donaghy is indeed the number 3 for Mayo, Donald Vaughan. So maybe that is also an indication of the difficulties that Mayo feel they're having, and that was rather a wild challenge, and the referee is going to call across the culprit here, and it's going to be Peter Crowley who is spoken to.
And I think it's important for Mayo to try get Keith Higgins, Lee Keegan up the pitch, because to break the lines, that full back line is there to be taken at. You would have to say that Mark Griffin struggled badly today on Jason Doherty, so if early ball can go in, they can get a lot of joy.
So it's Peter Crowley then, the second player to be booked for Kerry. That ball in there towards Andy Moran. Going back in to try and take it was Shane Enright. Interesting to see that Jonathan Lyne has been brought in at this stage to try and shore up some things for Kerry that were going amiss. He did score 2 wonderful points, you might remember, when he came on in extra time in Limerick 3 years ago. He's on for the second half, and Peter Crowley is venturing forward here ambitiously. Kieran Donaghy, new marker now. Well, he had for a moment until Aidan O'Shea decided to switch back onto him again. Hard to keep up with this. Paul Gainey kicking and putting it over the bar. Excellent score by Paul Gainey. That's 5 for the day, the first to come from open play. Fed for him once again by Donaghy. Donaghy who also fed Stephen O'Brien for the goal after some 13 minutes.
Yeah, and I do feel myself that Kieran Donaghy from general play is doing very well on Aidan O'Shea.
Here comes Colm Boyle once again, one of our 3 goal scorers. Back as far as Seamus O'Shea stumbled, touched it on the ground as a result. Under pressure there from James O'Donoghue. Free kick to Kerry. And you can be certain they will have a renewed pep in their step collectively for this second half. Stephen O'Brien all the way in here as far as Paul Murphy. He used to play in the half forwards, and this time it's waved wide.
Yeah, slow start by Mayo, but very impressive again from Kerry, showing all their know-how and experience, not playing well and winning the game.
Aidan O'Shea. Back to Keith Higgins. Little ponderous on occasions, taking it out of their own half. Now Lee Keegan showing a bit more energy. Up as far as Kevin McLaughlin, transferred back beautifully as far as the Westport player. Challenged. inside as far as Doherty, pulled back. Little over-eager and lack of discipline there on the part of the Kerry player. Paul Gainey, the one in question.
Yeah, there's not much in it now, you'd have to say, Jaron. A few soft frees given today, and considering the conditions as well. Players just slipping and sliding into tackles.
Cillian O'Connor will take it. Booted in long. Inside towards his brother, who touches it down as far as Andy Moran, who spins beautifully and completes the move perfectly. It's a goal and 4 for him. Some afternoon for Andy Moran.
Yeah, again, the long ball in is working a treat for them. Great finish from Andy Moran and great control.
Teams level for the 3rd time. Quite a game. Out here as far as Jack Barry this time. Into midfield as he was in the quarter-final against Galway. David Moore and his partner then and now. Booted down towards James O'Donoghue. Should be Chris Barrett's. Trying to get his body in front of the Kerry man, who outfoxes him. James O'Donoghue trying to turn inside here, dangerously in towards the square. Referee blows his whistle, gives a free out.
Yeah, and it looked as if there was a free on Chris Barrett initially. Just got a little nudge in the back, but I suppose clever play from James O'Donoghue.
Well, anything can happen in this second half. The game has opened up quite considerably, and two teams who you'll be certain will go for it. Aidan O'Shea on as far as Colin Boyd, just takes off, boots it in here, 2 men to aim at. Cillian O'Connor is one of them, transfers it quickly here. It's Donald Vaughan kicking with some assurance. He got a point the last day, he's got another one here.
Yeah, and I'm thinking there's 2 players Stephen Rogers generally takes off. One is Andy Moore and 2 is Donald Vaughan, and he certainly won't be taking him off today. Or Colin Boyle, sorry.
Both sets of defenders have had their problems this afternoon. This time it's out to Jack Barry, immediately put under pressure. Back to Killian Young. Moved inside here to Shane Enright, 29-year-old from Tarbert. Collected by Jack Savage. On his shoulder here he's got Peter Crowley. Again, just sums up what's available to him. Decides to wait. Put it in over the head of Colin Boyle for Shane Enright. Enright blocked down brilliantly by Aidan O'Shea. Well, the value of Aidan O'Shea, whether it's as a number 11 playing as a centre forward or back there augmenting the defence, clearly illustrated. Diarmuid O'Connor kicks it forward, the referee spots a foul, gives a free kick which Mayo take quickly. Kevin McLaughlin picks it up, ready to take off, turning back, needing some assistance. Into Cillian O'Connor, taking on Killian Young, booting it well and putting it over the bar as well. 2 on the day for Cillian O'Connor.
Great ball in there, a great finish. That full back line are really struggling to cope today, and it all came from the block down by Aidan O'Shea.
From one end to the other. So Mayo take a command here and lead by 2 points. But it's early stages of the second half, only 6.5 minutes into the second period. David Moran back here to Young from Renard. Shane Enright. Mayo saying, OK, you can play around inside your own 45, and then we will try and close you down when it gets into the middle third. David Moran. Nobody coming. Eventually it's kicked forward, but not with the necessary degree of accuracy by Jack Barry. Coming out with an Aidan O'Shea, being urged on by the Mayo fans here, across towards Andy Moran, back towards Cillian O'Connor. They're getting on the ball time and again, taking up good angles, and the full back line seem to be in the horrors, quite frankly. Andy Moran again. This time it's a little over-vigorous. The referee has decided by Jack Barry, wasn't shoulder to shoulder. Andy Moran takes it quickly, very quickly to Tom Parsons. He can finish. He gets the point.
Yeah, great awareness there from Andy Moran. And great play from Tom Parsons to find him down position. But the worrying thing for this Kerry team is there's no set pattern. It's hard to know exactly what style of play they're adopting, and they're struggling all over the pitch at the minute.
And Mayo are bringing on Paddy Durkin.
Jeez, I'm surprised that Colin Boyle gone off. I thought he'd been excellent today.
Well, maybe the running figures showed up once again that he's been doing too much.
That GPS, he'll throw it out.
Hard to understand, but then Team management has to live or die by their switches and changes, and here is Durkin pushing the back.
Well, in fairness, of a good man coming on. He's a young player with a big engine, and he's been excellent for Mayo this year.
It'll be Paul Murphy who will take this. Mayo with 4 points in the second half already here. Kerry with just 1. And James O'Donoghue, who's been hounded here by Donald Vaughan, but the referee blows the whistle saying, hang on Donald, bring it back, bring it back.
It's a correct call. The Mayo supporters aren't happy, but it gives you an idea of the attitude of the Mayo players, the fight and the vigour that's in them today.
There's an intensity there, there's a desire for victory, there's an attitude that today may well be the day they will lay the bogey. 1996, the last time that a Mayo team beat Kerry in the All-Ireland semi-finals. James O'Donoghue to take, plenty of time remaining. Jack Barry, soloing, taking on Tom Parsons, not the cleverest, but then he regained it well. The UCD student giving it out to Jack Savage, another student. Again, Jack looks, tries to see where Paul Gainey is, the real danger man inside there. Has a real eye for goal or a score. Gainey, always focused, always intent. But this time it's gone to the right and it's gone wide.
Yeah, David Clark concentrating on quick kickouts, but another opportunity from Gainey, but a lot of good play from the Mayo defence.
As you say, he is trying to concentrate on those quick kickouts, but that was spotted by Paul Murphy. There he is still tigerishly trying to put pressure on Seamus O'Shea just to make it awkward, make it difficult, make sure that the passes out from the back are not easy. That is a slack ball by Keith Higgins to Aidan O'Shea, and now the pressure is back on.
Yeah, here's a long ball now into full forward line.
2 against 3. Starr was going for it, touched it down to David Moran, steals a march, lovely deception. There's a goal chance, great save! It can still be finished, and it is by Johnny Buckley. A second Kerry goal and a first ever in the championship for Johnny Buckley, coming after 46 minutes. Great piece of play. And
out of nowhere, great play. Kieran Donny won it, got to David Moore, and a great finish and an interception here.
Level again, but maybe not for too long. Kicked over the bar by Paul Gainey, his 6th. A goal and a point in the space of 60 seconds for Kerry. Now a little bit happier, I'm sure, Eamon Fitzmaurice.
Yeah, and out of nowhere, all of a sudden the scoreboard changes. You didn't see that coming.
I thought we were going to be talking about a great David Clark save there from David Moran.
Yeah, brilliant save and a great shot by David Moran. But Johnny Buckley, he's been quiet today, but he'd be delighted with that finish. But David Clark, again, we said it quick, trying to get his kickouts very quickly away, caused another score.
Real excitement at Croke Park. Only 46 minutes are gone. This is kicked out here as far as Donald Vaughan, pressurised by Buckley. Well, he will be delighted to get a first ever championship goal, the Dr. Crokes man, captain of the team as well. Keith Higgins. Well, every time they've been pinned back, Mayo somehow find the resolution and somehow come back strongly. And Gerald and Harrison.
A lot of that came from that sideline that Aidan O'Shea missed, the poor ball from Keith Higgins.
And that time there's unquestionably going to be a free in. Stephen O'Brien, in his anxiety to stop the run there of Lee Keegan, reached in, caught him, and the referee has a little word.
Yeah, I suppose they say it was a good foul to give away. Lee Keegan was gaining momentum and took him out.
And Mayo can level the game once again. It will be for the 5th time if he does so. The doctor has had a quick word with Lee Keegan. He's okay. Nobody wants to leave the fray. Such an exciting semi-final. Second one coming up, of course, on this channel next Sunday afternoon. Dublin versus Tyrone, again, not to be missed. Cillian O'Connor's going to take this. Giving himself plenty of time. No need to rush. It's too much at stake. Players have committed their lives to winning an All-Ireland title. Third for him. This is the goal again. This was David Moran. Watch for the save, and then watch for the follow-up reaction of Johnny Buckley. Great credit due to Buckley, anticipating that the keeper just might spill it.
Yeah, what play by David Moore to pull a dummy like that in his position. Coolness, calmness personified.
Nothing cool about the challenge there from Jason Doherty. A little rushed on Shane Enright. Comes back out to Tyg Morley. Who's going to win it? That's Jonathan Lyne. Back as far as Morley once again. Enright. Once more, Mayo saying, play away from all you want back there. Killian Young, however, going to turn it into an attacking situation of some purpose as quick as possible. Jack Savage, plenty of Mayo bodies there, but they can't cut it out initially. But they did the second time. Great piece of defensive work. I think it was Brendan Harrison got the hand in. It works out to Aidan O'Shea. Comes out to Kevin McLaughlin. McLaughlin carrying it on. Donaghy giving up the chase. McLaughlin still. Transferred to Jason Doherty. Back out as far as Diarmuid O'Connor. Kicked it in towards Andy Moran. In between goalkeeper and corner back. Shane Enright. And it's gone off Enright. The umpire's decided it's a 45. I think it's the game's first.
Yeah, another long ball across there by Diarmuid O'Connor. So dangerous. And Andy Moran, for a split second, it looked like he was getting an opportunity. Good play by Shane Enright.
Wouldn't want to take your eyes off this for a split second.
No, it's enthralling. And the funny thing, Kerry have not been themselves today. It's not their usual performance, fluid play, but they're still very much in this game.
Well, you give credit to Mayo, I guess, for that. They put the pressure on. But as you say, even not playing their best, Kerry could still get to the All-Ireland final, as we know from past experience. And Mayo have been the ones to suffer over the years for that. They've lost too many finals, too many semi-finals. This is one they really want to win. Killian O'Connor, 4 points so far, 2 from play, 1 from a free kick.
Killian Young there is encroaching pretty close to the kick as well, and Lee Keegan not happy about that.
He certainly knocked back the 30 metres, way too close. And he underhit it as a result, and the referee allowed it to continue. And in the end, it is David Moran who picked it up.
Yeah, certainly the lines. He's going to Lee Keegan and tell him not to be getting involved, but certainly it was a decision that the linesman and the referee should have made.
Free kick to Kerry. And David Moran, once again, so influential in today's contest. Trying to get away there from Killian O'Connor. Needs to get rid of it, needs an easy pass to give, waiting for a free kick to be awarded in his favour. Referee.
He's slow to blow it, yeah. And the Mayo half forwards and forwards in particular are very strong, aggressive tacklers.
Killian Young back here, able to link up with Brian Kelly once again. Going a little bit dangerously every so often, then running into trouble. Killian Young managing to somehow work his way out despite all the hefty tackles and challenges. The last one a foul by Lee Keegan. David Moran going to take it. These teams level 5 times already in this contest. That's a great ball to Peter Crowley, taking on his man who is Diarmuid O'Connor, and O'Connor went in up and over him, and it's going to be a free kick from the 13-metre line.
Yeah, and I've said it before, again, Kieran Donaghy goes out to midfield, uses experience, gets on the ball and kicks a lovely pass into Peter Crowley. But just again, from general play, he's 10 yards away from giving Kieran Donaghy an opportunity to kick a nice pass like that. It's a bit too loose.
And Kerry have the free takers, Paul Gainey with the right and James O'Donoghue with the left. It'll be O'Donoghue from Killarney Legion who will take this one. And they are back in front again. 3 for O'Donoghue on the day. Real cat and mouse match. A match of a lot of quality and a lot of drama and great excitement. David Clark booting it out in towards the 65-metre line. There's a bit of jostling and pushing and shoving. It's by the Mayo midfielders, quickly taken here by Paul Gainey. Out as far as Jack Barry. Switch back in once again to Donaghy. Big Kieran Donaghy in to Barry. There's a chance of a goal here for him. Great save by Clark once again. Second great save he's made in the second half. The last one resulted in a goal, however. This one results in continued pressure on the part of Kerry, and Jack Savage turning it back towards Moran, trying to get away from Tom Parsons. Has a player to his right-hand side. The referee's going to bring the ball back, and it's going to be a free kick to Kerry. James O'Donoghue gleefully accepting.
Yeah, what an opportunity there for Jack Barry. Crept in behind in defence, but David Clark, who's an outstanding goalkeeper, an outstanding shot stopper, made a crucial save on that occasion.
So James O'Donoghue taking his time. One great Kerry man celebrating his 87th birthday today. Watching this, legendary broadcaster Micheál Murray, greatest of our modern day broadcasters, and a Kerry man. Watching James O'Donoghue booted up, but booted wide as well. And Darren O'Sullivan is coming on.
Yeah, and Darren has been a player we haven't seen much of this year, and certainly with his reputation he can make a big impact.
And the goal scorer and captain Johnny Buckley, the one who makes way. So Darren O'Sullivan on for his 65th championship appearance, and has got 11 goals in the past. Now they could do with a couple of scores in this very, very tight match. That's touched down back here as far as Paddy Durkin, held up unfairly. Free kick which Tom Parsons is going to take, heading into the last quarter of an hour of an intense battle. Jason Doherty gets away from his man. Every attacking opportunity now needing to be availed of. Andy Moran, who's hot, is extremely hot. He's got a goal and 5, and Kerry can't hose him down. He's so hot this afternoon.
Yeah, and the Mayo player trying to get out and stop that quick kick out again. But great play again from Jason Doherty. I think he's been superb today, getting on a lot of ball and being very clever with his distribution.
And he's one of those great unsung heroes as well, Jason Doherty, from Burrishoole. 2-11 to 2-11. 6 times they have been level in the game. Killian Young back as far as Peter Crowley. James O'Donoghue just taking up the pace of the attack now. Good vision to pick out Jonathan Lyne. Down into the corner as far as Jack Savage. The substitutes involved here in this particular attack. Back it goes towards O'Donoghue again. Not favourable for the left foot, but for the right foot of Paul Gainey. It's perfectly positioned, and he avails of it splendidly to get his 7th point of the game. Kerry by 1 again.
What a finish by Paul Gainey. And all at this stage, all these decisions are getting crucial. Brilliant finish from him, and great play from James O'Donoghue.
There's Darren O'Sullivan, what you don't normally see from him, back foraging, helping the half-back line, winning it, giving it, and it's played in as far as David Moran. Going by Keith Higgins initially, in as far as James O'Donoghue, 45 metres out. Switched across into space here as far as Gainey. Great combination the two of them have, along with Kieran Donaghy. It's quite a forward line. Again, Gainey pushed it beautifully through here. Jonathan Lyne fancies a score, but he's not going to get one with this particular attack. Instead, it's Kerry's 9th wide, just their 4th of the second half.
And David Clark's kick out. The pressure has continued to build on it.
Paddy Durkin, Mayo's only substitute so far, racing forward. Peter Crowley's after him, quickly and crisply turned in as far as Andy Moran, back as far as Tom Parsons. 20 metres out, they need a score and he provides it. It's his 2nd point. What a match this is. Truly gripping.
Great transition play, very quick up the pitch. Great score by Tom Parsons, but Andy Moran has been immense today. He's won so much ball out in front.
This is the championship game that the 2017 GAA Football Championship has required, and these two teams have served it up. David Moran as far as Paul Murphy, back in here as far as Darren O'Sullivan, again impishly taking it on, out as far as David Moran, into Kieran Donaghy. Oh, unable to hold on to it, such was the pressure being exerted by Chris Barrett. Now Aidan O'Shea, and down he goes. David Moran says he fell himself. Referee Maurice Deegan says, nice and easy now, gentlemen. And he gets the notebook out to have a little word with David Moran.
Yeah, it was a reckless challenge by David, he knows himself.
He sees yellow. Three players, no, four rather, have now been yellow carded for Kerry. So Stephen Cohen comes on, and the player he is replacing is midfielder Seamus O'Shea. Put in a good shift as he always does, Seamus O'Shea. Solid, honest in everything that he does. Stephen, the team manager there, just offering him a word of congratulations. Fisted back down well by Jonathan Lyne. Kerry come once more, still threatening. Stephen O'Brien looking to put them back in front again. Donaghy back out to O'Brien. Goal scorer in the first half. Donaghy fancies another one, and this one is gone wide. They took a moment or two, the umpires, to decide on that.
Yeah, and certainly a good opportunity for Kieran Donaghy. Free shot in front of goal, in space, should have scored.
Aidan O'Shea. And Stephen Rochford at this stage will be thinking, we can still do it. Mayo manager, second season in charge. Up this time it comes, transferred beautifully from Doherty to Keegan. Trying to curl this one, going towards the right of the goal posts, and he's missed the opportunity. Yeah. Took it on courageously.
Paul Murphy again wasn't too far away, and there was an opportunity to take him on, but he knows how good a player he is.
Only Mayo's first wide of the second half. Big leap in the air, and it's Parsons who wins it. It's like Kerry have taken a little breather, and Mayo suddenly find extra life, and Andy Moran touches it down into the path of Cillian O'Connor, but there's still work to do here. Cillian Young, his marker, takes off, and the Ballintubber man kicks with brilliant accuracy, and once again the Mayo fans raise the decibel level here. They believe it's possible today, and there are 10 minutes left, and they have a 1-point advantage.
And what leadership from Cillian O'Connor. Get the ball on the line, take on Cillian Young, and a fabulous score from distance.
Bodies put on the line. The referee just holding up the play here because there are two injured Mayo players, as you can see. Diarmuid O'Connor, one of them.
Yeah, and brave play by Lee Keegan. He dived into the tackle to push the ball away, and he ran into Diarmuid O'Connor. Two tough men.
Two tough men is right, and Peter Crowley was coming in trying to win it there for Kerry. Collision of bodies. So the team, Dr. Sean Moffat and Martin McIntyre, out there to try and help out. Well, here comes Barry John Keane. Can he turn the game in Kerry's favour?
Great player to have to come in as well. Barry John Keane nearly guarantees you a point or two, and Eamon Fitzmaurice needs one today.
Except the player going off is James O'Donoghue.
Yeah, and he looks disappointed with that.
Well, Barry John Keane has won many a match. Now he's got to come in instead of former Footballer of the Year James O'Donoghue. You know, before this match, people were saying, I'm not quite sure. I really honestly don't know who's going to win it, and here we are, 8 minutes to go, Desi, and we still don't know.
Absolutely, two brilliant sides, and I think it's been an excellent match, very close battle and great intensity.
Darren O'Sullivan shows his pace, shows his good reading of the game as well by linking up with Jonathan Lyne. He gives it back to O'Sullivan, a more acknowledged scorer, back to Jack Barry. Savage thought about it, being teased into it almost, back in as far as Barry John Keane. Will this be his moment to turn it on? Having just come on, yes is the answer. The value of an assured player like Barry John Keane to just come in like that. This is taken by Diarmuid O'Connor.
Yeah, we said it, and Chris Barrett, I'm sure, knew it as well. He knew to get extra tight, but I suppose in that situation, Barry John knew that Chris Barrett would be tight, pulled a lovely dummy, brought onto his left, and a fabulous finish.
Mayo seeking the lead once again from a deep position here. Aidan O'Shea. Teams level 8 times. Paddy Durkin asking a lot there of Kevin McLaughlin, who I think wondered, was it McLaughlin or Jason Doherty was wondering there just who got the final touch. Well, anyway, it seemed to me to come off Tyke Morley, but it's Kerry who get it, and it's David Moran, and after him came Tom Parsons, who came in over behind him, but the referee doesn't give a free kick. It looked to be a foul.
Very high tackle there from Tom Parsons, got away with it.
Cohen, Andy Moran, having one of the best games he's ever had, I suppose, in a Mayo shirt, all the way up as far as Cillian O'Connor. Transferred back once again to Andy. Jason Doherty pushed out by Tyke Morley, and it's Parsons now who just tries to control the pace and the tempo of the next attack. They'll be trying to make each and every foray now into the opposing 45-metre line count for something. McLaughlin not on his right, wants to hit him with the left, back as far as Donald Vaughan, threading it inside cleverly, lovely transfer, little block on it as Jason Doherty was trying to hit that. Full credit that time to Killian Young, who made the block.
Great opportunity for Stephen Cohen at this stage. A point is crucial, every score is crucial, and well worked, and Mayo have been very good at kicking the ball into that full forward line today.
Taken out here by Tyke Morley. It was Donald Vaughan who committed himself to it. Stephen Cohen picking it back up. Fed neatly into Andy Moran again. This time Shane Enright trying to come out on top of that particular duel. Finally Stephen Cohen fouled. Free kick for Mayo. Chance for them to steal back in front again with about 5 minutes of this first All-Ireland football semi-final remaining.
Yeah, and Andy Moran will look to go short in this, I'm sure. It's a very long way out for any free taker.
Well, the angle is an awkward one, but we've seen Cillian O'Connor from a more central position, notably last year in the All-Ireland drawn final. Notch one. This time Peter Crowley was coming out, his jersey was being pulled back. Referee allows play to continue. Jonathan Lyne kicks it forward. After it goes Stephen O'Brien, looking for a favourable bounce there against Paddy Durkin. Gets it back inside towards Paul Gainey. 7 points for the match so far. That ball's gone astray, and it's Chris Barrett who mops it up, takes it back out again to Kevin McLaughlin. Both sides going for it now inside the last 5 minutes of the match. Stephen Cohen to Lee Keegan, to Keith Higgins for Mayo. 2:13 to 2:13. Higgins looking to give the easy ball to somebody. Cohen made himself available. Now Diarmuid O'Connor. It reaches Tom Parsons. Paddy Durkin, patient, just switching it across here towards Kevin McLaughlin. They're in no particular hurry. If something's not on, they've got the patience and the forbearance to just wait for it. This side has been together so long, they've got a lot of understanding, a lot of experience, and right now Chris Barrett was hoping to use that experience to more telling effect, but he's booted it up into the crowd and missed the opportunity, and they are still level.
Yeah, Chris Barrett, I suppose he might be the most obvious choice to be getting a shot at that opportunity. Lee Keegan was outside him, but I think Donald Vaughan and Darren O'Sullivan are going to pick up two yellow cards for an off-the-ball incident.
Referee has been busy. So a couple of cards one anticipates. Mayo will be bringing in another substitute very, very soon. It'll be just their third. Referee taking his time with the cautions. So Vaughan and Darren O'Sullivan for this. Leave it to Conor McGregor and Mayweather, I think.
Step by.
David Drake's on. There making his way off is going to be Diarmuid O'Connor. Well, they're dipping deep into their bench now to try and get that vital edge.
Yeah, and Diarmuid O'Connor just coming off through the play, so needs to be retaken. 3 minutes left in normal final. Very important now to show that composure, get the opportunity, get the right man on the ball as well.
Will we see a winner today? It's going to be Brian Kelly who will kick this ball out. And who really did his stuff in the quarter-final match against Galway. This time picks out brilliantly. Jack Barry gives it off here to Jonathan Lyne. Lyne has a support player. There were two of them there. Went past to David Moran, on as far as Jack Savage. Now motoring through the centre. Thought about giving it to Kieran Donaghy. O'Brien had gone ahead of him. Now Donaghy's an option. And here is Stephen O'Brien to try and break the scoring deadlock in the 69th minute to put Kerry back into the lead again. Barry John Keane back here as far as Darren O'Sullivan. Two old warriors. And Donaghy has booted it way up into the air, but you never know what might happen. Past Gainey, past Brendan Harrison, but Gainey's got it. Trying to turn, trying to make an angle, trying to go through the eye of a needle, gives it off here to Paul Murphy! Kerry lead, vital time, 2:14 to 2:13. Paul Murphy's first point.
Yeah, we've said it'd be quiet today by his usual high standards, but come at the hour, come at the man, and that's a brilliant point.
Now, can Kerry build upon that? Can Mayo come back? Is it to be another semi-final heartbreak? Paul Gainey, and the referee has blown his whistle, and there'll be some more changes coming up in just a moment. Brian Sheehan will be the last one to come in. 6 sub for Kerry. Final words from his team manager, Eamon Fitzmaurice.
Certainly,
a lot of experience he has.
Certainly a player that can take an opportunity when he gets it, and great experience, great know-how.
And if you need a long-range free taker, if you get one, he's the best around.
Absolutely, incredible kicker for many years.
Mayo now chasing it, a point adrift. 70 minutes have now been played. Deep into stoppage time we will be going to resolve this wonderful semi-final. Two great teams who've given some great entertainment. Lee Keegan dashing forward but out into the angles. Brendan Harrison, back it comes once again. Donny Vaughan, they're looking for somebody to take on the responsibility. McLaughlin, then that ball is kicked and it's gone away to the right. There are going to be 5 additional minutes. Paddy Durkin not finishing with his usual flourish here in Croke Park. He's got so many good points here over the years.
Yeah, in the last 10 minutes they've missed some crucial opportunities for Mayo. Again, that was probably a difficult one, you would have to say.
Brian Sheehan still waiting for his chance to come on, not just yet. Brian Kelly kicking it out. Possession vital, even with 4 minutes now at this stage left. It's forward. Barry John Keane to Jack Savage, who's worked tirelessly since being introduced after about 20-25 minutes of this game. Into Jack Barry, who came on at half-time. Paul Murphy now taking over. Right through the centre he goes. Way out here towards Paul Gainey. Another point might just do it for Kerry in this very tight match against Higgins. And then in comes Lee Keegan to try and win it back. Donald Vaughan goes in, and as he was going, he was pushed in the back by Paul Murphy, and it's a free out, and the referee came a cropper as well in the slippery conditions.
And the Mayo players don't want to wait. There's some frustration with the supporters as well. They just want to get on with play and get the equaliser.
You can't blame them. The level of intensity is unreal.
Yeah, and somehow Lee Keegan is now taking up Peter Crowley. Paul Murphy has found himself a lot freer in the last couple of minutes and is getting on a lot more ball.
It's Sheehan coming on, and it's going to be Kieran Donaghy, the one who will make way. Final 3 minutes. But that's 5 minutes at least, as they always say. Kerry 2:14, Mayo 2:13 in the All-Ireland semi-final. David Clark. Keith Higgins now carrying it on. They've got to try and retain possession. They've got to try and work it up. Kerry got to try and get that ball back while retaining discipline. And that ball's handled on the ground by Tom Parsons, a little unlucky. Kerry will take whatever luck is going at this stage, and the referee wants to bring it back.
Yeah, the free was too short there.
Has to be 13 metres away from the receiver. So the referee will throw the ball up. Conor Loftus has been brought on, an out-and-out forward. He saved them against Derry in normal time in Castlebar. They work it forward with Keith Higgins. Andy Moran, the one who has made way. What a game he played. Donald Vaughan trying to ensure it's not all in vain. And this one is kicked brilliantly, and it's over the bar. And it's that man again, Paddy Durkin. His 7th ever point in Croke Park out of 15 points that he's got in his very, very short career playing with Mayo. And they are level at 214 to 214. Does any team deserve to lose it?
And these Mayo supporters have suffered a long time, but what a score by Paddy Durkin. And the atmosphere is electric.
And Kerry have turned it over. And David Moran is able to carry it down. Brian Sheehan has just come on, a clumsy challenge by Donald Vaughan. It'll be possession for Kerry and a free kick.
It's a long way out there, and I know Brian Sheehan is on the pitch, and I know he scored them before.
It's a weary looking challenge that by Donald Vaughan, immediately after the elation of getting level through Paddy Durkin's excellence. But now Brian Sheehan ready to try and see what he can do. A player who is now 31 years of age, who has scored 6 goals and 161 points in his championship career.
Brian Sheehan is trying to sneak a yard or two, and I think in a cold evening like this, a wet evening, the ball mightn't travel quite as far, but he knows that himself. He's a very experienced kicker.
Yeah, the referee spotted it and told him, back you go a little. Well, look at the clock, 5 minutes now up. The referee can add on maybe another 2 minutes. Will this be the winner? Will it be Brian Sheehan, who's just come off the bench to take Kerry into the All-Ireland final? Not with this one, but it's still there, and Aidan O'Shea has saved it. It's all over! No additional time. They will have to do it all again, just as was the case in 2014. Then they had to go to Limerick, and all the drama that was entailed there. It'll be next Saturday, we understand, that the replay will take place here between two mighty and wonderful teams, as they demonstrated today, who were game and who were thrilling in their approach. Credit to all concerned, to everybody who played, to the management teams as well, and to everybody who participated. We got a feast of drama, and we got Andy Moran, who got a goal and 5 points in today's encounter, and he'll be back for more. They'll all be back for more. Desi, your summation.
Yeah, brilliant match, very enjoyable. 2 brilliant teams. You'd have to say that Mayo showed great heart and character. For their supporters, they'll be absolutely delighted to get that point as well. We'll have another massive occasion next Saturday night again. 2 heavyweights going at it, and I look forward to that immensely.
There is just so little to choose between the two of them. So many talking points, of course, as well.
Yeah,
that Kerry defence, for instance.
Yeah, that full back line, there'll be questions asked. I suppose a lot of debate over Aidan O'Shea, Mark and Kieran Donaghy. Did he do a good job? Lee Keegan was quiet today, but Paul Murphy was excellent. These are 2 heavyweights. They'll go back, they'll regroup, and they'll come at it, and it'll be a massive occasion again in Croke Park, I'd imagine.
Desi, we had 4 quarter-finals that were, forgettable by and large, with the exception of the Mayo Roscommon game that finished level here, that had some really good points. But today was outstanding, and at the end of it all, it finishes level.